Hi there, my name is Noah Matthews. I'm the marketing coordinator at CBDC Blue Water. At CBDC Blue Water, we help educate small business owners in rural HRM grow their business. As a part of the marketing team, myself and our content creator, Morgan Sangster, put together a 4-part video series that has been adapted from our webinar series about how to market your small business using social media. I welcome you to part 1 of our social media marketing for small business video series. In this video, I will be explaining the 4 biggest social media platforms, how to determine which social media platforms are the best to reach your target market, what to have featured in these pages, and how consumers tend to use the platforms and interact with businesses online. The goal of this video is for participants to finish with an understanding of the big 4 platforms, gain knowledge required to determine where your business should have public social media profiles, as well as what visual and non-visual elements should be present on them. When I mention the big 4, I'm strictly referring to Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, and Instagram. Facebook is the largest with roughly 2.7 billion active monthly users, followed by Instagram, Twitter, and then finally LinkedIn. Clearly, Facebook has the most monthly sign-ins. It would make sense that Facebook seems like the best choice. But there are a few things you're going to want to keep in mind when thinking about where to create your first profiles for your business. Step 1, you need to know your target audience or who your ideal customer is. This can be tricky. However, you will always have people who are most likely to purchase your product or service. You want to focus your time and energy solely on them. These people will typically have certain things in common, so I recommend familiarizing yourself with your target market's needs and wants to find out exactly who they are. Step 2 is to look at the demographics of the people who have personal social media profiles on each of the individual platforms. And the third step is to now create profiles on these social media platforms where your target market's demographics overlap with the user demographics of the social media platform, and start posting for your target market to see. Here, we have provided a generic breakdown of the user demographics for each platform available. I recommend doing some of your own research so you are as up to date as possible, because social media is ever changing. These stats will most likely change within the year. Here, I'll give you a quick breakdown regarding how to read the provided chart. I'll go through the first few demographic ranges for Facebook, just so you get the idea, because it is the same over Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and LinkedIn, and I don't want to waste everybody's time. So just to go through a couple of them, 74% of people with a Facebook page will log in at least once a day. So as you can tell, that's quite powerful. Those 75% of people with Facebook are what we would call somewhat heavy users. 75% of women that live in North America have a Facebook page, and 63% of men in North America have a Facebook page. So now when we move down to age, as you can see, is 51% of youth aged 13 to 17 will have a Facebook page. 79% of people aged 18 to 29 years old, they will also have a Facebook page. So as you can see, that's how you read the chart. The same can be said for the location. 73% of people living in urban locales will have a Facebook page. Now that you know where you should have social media profiles for your business, it is important to understand how to curate these profiles. But remember, having a pretty, colorful, and eye-catching page is only one part. The page needs to answer any and all questions a customer or potential customer may have within the first few seconds of them landing on your page. This will help maintain the customer's attention and prevent them from moving along to your competition. Facebook is the largest and most mature platform of the 4 we are going to discuss today. It is largely community-based and is an excellent place to engage with your customers. You can post photo, video, and text statuses. I would also like to note because you will begin to notice a theme. You can post hyperlinks on Facebook, and they will in fact link you to the desired URL, which on the flip does not happen when you do this with Instagram. You can think of what needs to be on your Facebook page in two different sections: visual components and non-visual or descriptive components. For starters, we will cover the visual aspects. 1, your logo should be your profile image. This is the face of your business and will be visible next to the business name when engaging on other posts. This will aid with brand awareness. 2, your cover photo. This should tell your page visitors what you do as a business while simultaneously bringing in aspects of your brand, such as a logo, colored banners and titles, etc. 3rd, your posts should typically have a visual component to them. To be clear, video will create the most engagement, followed by photo and then text. It should be edited multiple times to ensure no typos or offensive language is being shared. Here, I would like to explain exactly why a cover photo is important. Imagine this scenario. You've just arrived in a new city with a friend. You want to grab a nice slice of pizza and a glass of wine before exploring the rest of the city that afternoon. We search for pizza places in the city, and these two profiles pop up. Which one would you choose? Clearly, they both look like excellent pizza. However, you will most definitely have two different experiences at each restaurant. The top photo appears to be a quaint little bistro, whereas the bottom is more so a takeout spot. Both most likely serve great food, but there are different occasions for each. I would like to walk you through what we would consider an excellent Facebook page as an example. In this case, it is the independent Halifax-based wine, beer, and spirit shop Bishop's Cellar. I would like to state as a disclaimer that Bishop's Cellar is not affiliated with CBDC Blue Water in any way. We simply think that they've done a tremendous job with their social media. Not to mention, they are public on all profiles, so you have an idea how to maintain consistency across different platforms. As you can see, Bishop's Cellar has an excellent cover photo. It's high quality, clearly shows that they are a wine, beer, and spirits shop, while also bringing in an element of their brand. Notice their sign behind the cash register with their full name, followed by their social media logo splotched in between what looks like, quite frankly, titles or names of wine or owners or whatever it could be. Meaning that in person and online, they are making an effort to increase their brand's awareness. Now that we have the visual components taken care of, it is important to address any questions that customers may have regarding your products and your services. 1, your business name and username. Your business name is what is displayed next to your profile, but your username, which is the @ sign and then your business name, is how people find and tag your business. This has to be unique within Facebook. Followed by that, you may fill in your physical location, business category, your hours of operation, which I cannot stress enough the importance of this, that it is correct, and if changed at any time, updated here and any other properties immediately. You may then add your business info that can help answer questions potential customers may have, followed by any additional contact info you may want to add. And then a brief 155-character maximum description about what you do as a business. Here you can see many of the components of their page that I had just discussed. Bishop's Cellar, bolded there, that's their display name, we'll call it. At Bishop's Cellar, below that is their username, and their business category is to the right of that. You will also notice there's an insert on the left-hand side. This is where most of the information will populate that I had just discussed, making it easily accessible for any potential and existing customers to find what they're looking for. Moving along to Instagram. It is quite a lot different than Facebook, both in terms of how consumers will use the platform and what types of content you can and cannot post. It is largely a visual platform. People do use it to connect with their community, however, not to the extent that Facebook users do. Think of Instagram as where all of the prettiest and best photos and videos you've taken go to be admired by your following. To begin with the visual components of an Instagram page, I will begin with the profile image. This is the same principle as Facebook, and as you will find out, the same case with all social media. Your profile image should always be your logo. Instagram is also a more playful platform, so feel free to use emojis in your business description and post captions. It will help consumers when personal touches are added. Highlights and stories are quick little updates you can make with your fans. It isn't as serious as a post, but it should follow the same principles, i.e. no typos, great photos, or infographics, etc. These stories are only viewable for 24 hours by your followers. However, highlights have given us the ability to archive our stories and curate them for our followers to view at their leisure when they come back and view our page. A great way to showcase your products or services and any prior work that you may have conducted. Finally, your posts on Instagram must contain a visual element, being either a photo, video, or infographic of sorts. Because there is no cover photo on Instagram, it is important that your most recent 6 photos do the job of a cover photo, meaning you have visual examples of your product or service with elements of your brand alongside them. Here are 2 examples of what high-quality Instagram pages can look like. Notice that I kept bishops to illustrate how consistent they are across the platforms. However, I am now also going to add Julep, who, as a disclaimer, once again, is not affiliated with CBDC Blue Water in any way. We are simply using their page as a high-quality example. They utilize Instagram's highlight feature, so I wanted to bring them in on top of Bishop Seller. Keeping your eyes on Bishop Seller's page first, notice they have their logo in as their profile image, a short and sweet business description or bio with emojis that suit their industry, with some great photos being their 6 to 9 most recent posts that showcase what they do as a business. To illustrate to you what highlights look like on Instagram, take a look over now to the right at Julep's page. You will notice little circles with icons labeled food, cocktails, and more. Notice you can actually customize the icon that is displayed as well, adding an even more personal touch. Now for the boring, information-heavy part of Instagram. To begin, we will need to start by selecting a username or handle. This should be the @ and then your business name exactly. Much like Facebook, however, this @ does need to be unique. So you may need to get creative depending on the popularity of this business name and add a character or 2. This is different from what is displayed on your profile next to the profile photo, however. Your business name in full should still be what is next to your profile photo. Then it is time for your business category. Remember to be as specific as possible. Followed by that is your business bio. It is important to tell people what you do in detail, but without being too wordy. The next step is to decide what link is best to have available to the public. Unfortunately, you cannot post links on Instagram in captions like you can everywhere else. So, it is important that you have the best link to serve your goals available. Last but not least, the customers need to know where to find you. You can post your address and it will appear between your bio and photos, making it easy for your customers to find you on a map. As you can see at the very top of the page, you'll notice where it says Bishop Seller in all one word. That is where your handle or @ business name is located. That is how people can tag you or find you. So this must be unique. The display name should state your actual business name. This will appear next to your logo on the front page, when you comment on posts, and more. Their bio, which essentially tells the people they are open for business in whatever method of sale makes the customer feel most comfortable. And with COVID, this is a very important thing to address. They have their website available, address, and a clear call to action button. The call to action being contact. You may customize this to the contact method of your choice. Moving on, we will now discuss Twitter in more detail. Twitter is much more fast-paced than any of the other social media platforms that we have been discussing today. It is where you can post almost all day and not be penalized algorithmically. It is ideal for quick updates, conversations, and more. I like to use the local example of @HFX Traffic. Once again, we are not affiliated in any way with the pages of Halifax Traffic. However, they are the perfect example of a page that does really well on Twitter. The number of traffic updates in Halifax throughout the day may require what we would consider over-posting on Facebook, LinkedIn, or Instagram. Twitter's recommended posting limit is extremely high, ultimately not being too concerning if you need to post frequently. Twitter is very similar to Instagram in that the profile setup is pretty much the same. Except with Twitter, you can post a cover photo. It is considered a conversation platform, somewhere that you can open a dialogue with your followers. You have a username with an at the beginning that must be unique. But same as the other two platforms, your name that gets displayed with your profile photo should be your full business name and does not need to be unique. Unlike Instagram, you can post links and direct traffic to that URL. However, you can also put one in your bio. So make sure that it is the most appropriate URL for your business. Finally, you may add a short bio for your business and the birth date of your business. Now, for the example, I would like to draw your attention to the cover image at the top. Notice it is not exactly the same as the others, but it is very clearly suiting of their brand. They have their logo, name, and then their username. Followed by the username is the exact same biography as what is on their Instagram. They then have their location, link, and birth date. LinkedIn is a platform that is specifically intended for business professionals. It is where business owners and individuals who work within business organizations can share a platform to network professionally. Ideally, if you are a business owner, you should 100% have a personal LinkedIn. And depending on your business, you may want to create one for your business as well. It's mainly ideal for business-to-business sales, given the nature of its professionalism and the type of people that are on it. A LinkedIn page is actually going to be far more similar to a Facebook page than Instagram or Twitter. There is a profile image and a cover image. You want to make sure that the dimensions are correct. That is important for any cover photo, but LinkedIn's is particularly long and narrow. You may add what LinkedIn refers to as a tagline. This is essentially your business biography or business description. You only have 120 characters, which is the most limited of the 4 platforms discussed. So you should sound as professional and succinct as possible. Another important thing to consider is what your button should be. You can customize it to contact us, learn more, sign up, etc. And provide a number or link that coincides. There is a section for an overview. Here is where you're able to write up to 2,000 characters. This is where you can go more in depth and try to draft your language so that it sounds fluffy and professional, so people enjoy reading it. Almost something that would be like an article in a newspaper. Finally, you can add other information, including location, contact information, the industry that you are in, and your employees. For our final slide of today's video, I have Bishop Sellers' LinkedIn available. Notice that they sound slightly more professional here, but still maintain their consistency through branding. Their profile photo is their full logo on LinkedIn. Probably because, as I mentioned before, it is slightly more professional, so the full unaltered logo would make more sense. They have their business name, category, and below that their 120 character tagline with a clear call to action, rerouting people to their website. And then in the about field, they do have their very well written 2,000 character overview about their business. If you're a small business owner located in rural parts of the Halifax Regional Municipality in Nova Scotia, Canada, feel free to reach out to myself if you have any questions regarding the social media marketing of your business. For my contact information, check out the description below the video.